3, so let's get started, shall we? 3 at 3 brought to you every business day by moi being me, Jon Najarian. It is the 28th of September 2020, and this is 3 at 3. 3 at 3, unusual option activity that we find, our algorithm finds it, we jump on it and take advantage of exactly what we can. Our disclaimer is that this is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not meant as an investment advisory. All investments involve risk. You need to be aware of that. Intellectual property rights, yes, we have copyright, trademarks, registered marks, and patents. We have 4 different things on what you're about to see. Why do we have all that? Because it's pretty special. I think you'll agree when you start seeing the results here. Tonight, by the way, before the election, we have Chris Verone of Strategas. He is the head of technical strategy and macro research. I've enjoyed many conferences with Chris where he has talked about the impact of the Affordable Care Act, the election, prior election, this election. Chris has been around for a long time. All of this is based on technicals and macro. So if you'd like to learn more about what Chris Verone of Strategas sees about the election upcoming, well, perhaps even a little debate, today, 4 p.m. Eastern, right at the close, about an hour from now, Chris will be joining us. I hope you can join us as well. How about this one, folks? Qualcomm. Thursday last week, I had it on the halftime report. Qualcomm was 111.52. I talked about the 115 calls that expire October 2nd. That is this coming Friday, 4 trading days from now. I did also talk about the fact that the options doubled and I took off half. And then I took off another 25%. So I only had 25% left. Take a look at this, folks. The call buying we see in here, still intense, still lifting shares. There's where we first cited it for unusual activity on the 24th when it was basically 111.50. And now you see it at 117.93. Been over 118 today, folks. How about that for a reason to subscribe to unusual option activity? That'd be a pretty good reason, wouldn't it? Also, if you'd like to learn more about how we trade, my brother Pete and I, or some of the advice from Tony Dwyer, Raul Paul, Bedros Keuilian, Tom Lee, Jeff Mackey, Doug Kurzian, Grover Nordquist, Mark Lepresti, Dirk Muller, Ryan Mastro, AJ Monty, Bill Johnson. Boy, we've got even more coming your way. There's the 2020 virtual conference. This was going to be in Vegas. It's online, it's virtual, which means you can join us from anywhere, folks. Anywhere around the world, you can join in, and you get every single one of these presentations that you can watch again and again. The only place you can get that is by signing up for the virtual trading conference. You can sign up. The only things left now are bronze. We sold out over 400 of those gold tickets. We sold out 200 of the platinum tickets. The only thing we've got left is the bronze. So if you'd like to join us, you get a digital copy of all conference content right after the event, $395. Make sure you check it out at marketrebellion.com. All right, how about this? Alcoa Friday. So there you see 925, far left side, right side of that screen rather. You see me talking about Alcoa options, and you see that big over 10,000 lot trade of January 14 calls. How'd that work? Well, stock moved up by 6% today. Bang! And I got into the trade for 85 cents last week. This trade, which was the 12 calls versus 15s out in January, got into the trade for 85 cents. It's trading 101 right now. And the stock has moved up. Let me see. Let's take a look. I don't have any fills on that because I'm not trying to get out of anything yet. But let me just give you a quick update on where the stock is at this very moment. 1226, up 6.2%. Bang. But we've got more. How about TJX? Somebody bought 1.2 million share equivalent of no double nickel, 55 calls out in TJX, TJ Maxx. Well, how do you think that worked out today with shares higher by another 5% to $56 a share nearly? There you see that gap from basically 53 up over 54. I have taken some profits on this one already. 50% I've taken off the table, folks, because of the spreads that I had on here. Another reason that you should be a subscriber and or an opportunity to listen when we do 3 at 3 or talk about them on the halftime report, noon Eastern time. By the way, this week I'll be on Wednesday and Thursday, noon Eastern time. If you'd like to learn more about what we do, go to Unusual Option Activity at Market Rebellion. That is marketrebellion.com/UOA. I bet you know what UOA stands for, Unusual Option Activity. You can join, folks. You can get over 20 trades a day on UOA. You can get 1 trade a day on UOA. You can get 1 trade a week on UOA. You have to decide which one's most appropriate for you. We have various different levels. marketrebellion.com/UOA. Let's take a look at how that Apple worked out from Friday. Friday, it was below 108. You know that we already had a winner on Friday because we saw 1.3 million share equivalent for this coming Friday's 113.75 calls. And you know I didn't buy just those calls because I like buying closer to the money. My calls are now deep in the money. Bang. And these calls have moved up substantially as well. Apple has moved all the way up to 114.37. It's up almost 2% today, $2.09. That, my friends, is a dog that will hunt as well. Bang. All right, fresh meat. First of our 3 at 3 for fresh meat right now. Take a look at 19,000 of the October 340 calls. These aren't this coming Friday. They are the Friday after this coming Friday. So I think you should be checking this out. October 340 calls, the 9th of October, and I am in these calls. As you might recall, I talked about last week with the SPY at 322, and I talked with my friend Aaron Task about this as well on his podcast, about somebody stepping in and just massively buying up calls. So much so that my friend Art Cashin had his son reach out to me and say, John, what are they buying? What are they buying? And I said, they're buying the 325s, they're buying the 330s, and now, as you see, folks, they're buying the 333.33 calls. 19,000 times. That's nearly 2 million share equivalent. That is a big trade, my friends. You need to be aware of that. I am in these as well right now. Second of our 3 at 3. You see, do I have a fill? Is that a fill coming in there? Hold on one sec, folks. No, we're good. We're good. Second trade is EWZ. EWZ, another huge trade. 20,000 of the December 30 calls bought for $1.36, and then 20,000 of the December 32 calls sold against it for $74. You net those two down, folks, and it's about 62 cents, right? So they paid 62 cents for something that could go to $2. How could it go to $2? Well, if it's 32 or higher, the 30 calls give you the right to buy it at 30. The 32 calls means somebody will take it from you if you follow this at 32, which means you turn $62 into $200. That's the bottom line here. And this particular person sold 20,000 of December 21 puts for 55 cents. So basically they have about 7 cents, give or take, on the table. So how does that work? Well, that means they have an obligation to buy stock should it drop below 21. They will be put stock at 21 by the owners of those puts. So you're taking on an obligation with the sale of an option. You have rights if you are the buyer of an option. Always remember that. I'm in EWZ right here as well, but I'm in call spreads from basically right where it is here through 31. And the third of our 3 at 3 is, bang, 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 IQ. 23.49. Let's call it 23.50. Somebody steps in and buys this coming Friday, 26 calls. So what do you need to know about that? Intense T for theta, time decay. Intense V, the impact of vega, which is volatility, on this particular trade. Need to be aware of time decay because these options could go from 15 or 32 cents where they were purchased to zero like that. So that's why I have to spread. So what I did, folks, was I bought the 24s, sold the 26s in IQ. I also put on a bigger spread just above the market, a little further out in time, just in case the timing is off on this one. You always need to be aware that short-term options are the deep end of the pool, which means that there's a lot of things that can go wrong. This is like you're on final for a landing. You're coming in on final for a landing. My brother Pete and I, we were private pilots for a while. You need to be very acutely aware of everything around you and stick to your game plan when you're coming in for that landing. I did a lot of mine at night. A lot of the flying that I was doing was at night because that's where I had to train, because during the day I was trading. So when you're coming in at night, sometimes you can't tell the sky from the ground. So there's all kinds of things that can screw you up. You need to be very focused, have your checklist, and stick to it. So what I do here is I stick with putting on spreads whenever possible when I'm in a final week or 2 weeks of that option's life. These are options that expire this coming Friday in IQ, so that is the way I approached it. You'd like to learn more about any of the strategies we talked about? Well, head on over to marketrebellion.com/get started. That is marketrebellion.com/get started. You can learn all about the various offerings for education on crypto, education on futures, education on stocks and technicals, and of course, options. You can learn all about beginning, intermediate, advanced. You'll be a better trader for it, and I guarantee you'll take less risk once you are that better trader and probably find that you get better returns too. All right. I hope you had a great enjoyment for what I discussed, and I hope you can join us tonight with Chris Verone. Now, the only way you can join us live is to sign up at marketrebellion.com. You'll see where marketrebellion.com. It is free. There's no obligation to do anything. But if you want to hear from Chris Verone about the election tonight, our roundtable is at 4 p.m. Eastern. That is 45 minutes from right about now. So make sure that you sign up to hear what Chris Verone has to say. I know it'll be interesting, and he's always entertaining as well. Thank you for joining me, folks. Hope you have a great afternoon, and I'll see you back here tomorrow on Market Rebellion Television. Bang!